Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as people come in, we will feel free to say hi to everybody. And we're just going to start rolling. I do want to start off by just acknowledging and letting you all know that Steele Wagstaff is no longer with Pressbooks. And we are extremely grateful for the work he put in during his time here. And we do wish him all of the best in his next endeavors. I also want to say that we have always appreciated the relationships that he had with so many folks in this community and want to share that consistency and responsiveness. So, yeah, go ahead and get started. So, a couple things we have. I did share the agenda within the product update webinar post that was in the community forum. And I would love to just let you know we have a few exciting things to share. One is, as you probably saw, the Google Docs importer is now live. We're very excited about that and can't wait to hear some of your feedback on that. We have some updates to the WordPress version. Also want to talk about the networked options page and some new link recheck functionality. We also want to share with you some upcoming events as well as a webinar and to let you know where we're going to be in the fall because you might see us around. And we have a couple of other exciting updates that I think will be really helpful for you and your open initiatives going forward. As always, um, you can, and at the end here, as always, we want to share any kind of community updates that you might have that you're interested in sharing with us. So the first one is the Google Docs importer, and I would love to invite, I believe I was going to ask Mitch to give us an overview on this. So I will stop sharing, and then Mitch can share their screen.
Sure. Thank you, Amanda. Hi, everyone. And I am happy to show you how this new feature works. And so here I have a book that I want to bring some Google Docs content into. And here is this sample document that I want to import. And you can see it has some headings. So these are heading ones, 2 chapters. There's some formatted text. It also has a table. And there's also an image that has some alt text here. And there's also a glossary term and a glossary section. And so I can bring all of this into Pressbooks now. And the way I do this is from anywhere in the book, I can click on import. And in the import type menu, I can select Google Docs. Then I get the prompt to connect my Google account. So I click on that. Then I select the account I want to choose for connection. And this will make the association between my account in Pressbooks and my Google account. So I click on continue. And then I have this checkbox here that will give Pressbooks the permissions to go and get the documents that I choose for it. And it will only be able to access the documents that I actually choose. So clicking continue brings me back to the import page. And again, I will click on Google Docs. Now I get the prompt to actually select a document from the Google Drive. Here I can search in this search bar for the correct document. I already have it here in the list, so I just highlight it and click select. Now it shows me the name of this document. I could still change it if I want to, but I actually do want to add this one, so I click begin import. And this will now prepare the parts of this Google Docs doc that I can import. So I can select the chapters here that I want to bring in, and I can click on import selection. And now they are here in my main body. And if we go look at them, we see there's the content, the formatting, there's tables. Tables do need a little bit of aftercare. You still need to add some table headers there. But you can also see that the image is here, and it also, well, we can highlight it here. you can see it has the alt text is in there. So this is how the new Google Docs importer works.
Awesome. Thank you, Mitch. I'm curious, have folks had the opportunity to take a look at it or use it? Not yet. I know John has, and John is very excited about it. John used it for one of a document to give it a try and thought it was just amazing. So, um, this is great. And if you have questions or feedback, comments, please do reach out to us because we are excited about this new opportunity. And the tech team and support team have worked hard to get this available to you. Um, so one of the things we also wanted to update you on is that shortly after our last update of WordPress 7.0.3 and Pressbooks 6.45, turned out that WordPress then decided to release a 7.0.4. So that's fine. What we did was we released Pressbooks version 6.45.1, which does provide the update to support WordPress 7.0.4. One thing to note, and Christopher did put this information into the product or into the Pressbook forum, which was really helpful, is that if you are running an open source self-hosted instance of Pressbooks, we do recommend updating both WordPress 7.0.4 and Pressbooks to 2 as in TO to 6.45.1 as soon as possible. But if you're on a Pressbooks infrastructure, hosted infrastructure, no action is needed. You're already covered. If you do have any questions about that, please do reach out or post in the forum because we can make sure we help you with anything that comes up. Okay, I wanted to pass it on to my colleague Thomas, who is, oh no, wait, Thomas, you're not doing that one, right? Sorry, I'm doing this one. The one thing I wanted to note is that we have simplified the network options page. So what you might have noticed is that there's a bit more of a streamlined layout now. And so it basically helps you make the customizations more quickly and efficiently. So you can change the network name up here, as well as the primary contact. And hopefully this will help with things become a bit more efficient. And I personally always like simplification over complication. So this is where I'd like to bring Thomas in. I was hoping that I would like Thomas to show you all sort of the update to recheck and what this means for links. So Thomas, I'm going to stop sharing my screen
Okay.
and then I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, so this is the latest addition to the link checker feature we have. Basically now, if you have a link checker report, such as this one, if you hover over one of these links that's been flagged as broken, um, you'll now see this one added option, recheck. Um, and this you can just click this if you think, for example, oh, I'm sure this link is actually online. Perhaps it was down at the time when I ran the link checker, but I'd like to just check it again without prompting an entire new check of all links in the book. Um, you can also do this as a bulk action. So if you select multiple links and select recheck here from this drop-down menu and click apply, that will directly check the selected links and you get a success message here. So yeah, this is the latest change to this overall feature. We still have the onlink and dismiss functionality available as well. And yeah.
Awesome. Any questions for Thomas about that? I'm going to put up my slide where you can see the instructions again, but just wanted to flag that. Okay. If you do, feel free to put it in the chat or bring it up towards the end. Thank you, Thomas. So there's a couple of things coming up in terms of webinars. As you know, we have our Pressbooks user group. This will be happening. Oh, it doesn't have the date, but it's happening the first Tuesday in September at 12 Eastern through Zoom. And we do have some presenters who will be joining us. We have Ariana Shovelday from BC Campus joining us. And then we also have Abby Elder from Iowa joining us. And so we're really going to be focusing on defining your publishing process. So what that means in terms of pre-publication checks, generating and sharing export files, and making your books more discoverable. So please do join us. We are excited about keeping the torch running with those Pressbooks users groups because they've definitely been useful for not only you all, I think, but also for us as a org. We have a really exciting upcoming webinar, which is called AI in the Open, and it's talking about real world practices in teaching and learning. I think at this point we have over 250 registrants right now, so it's definitely a hot topic. But what it's really going to be looking at is what are those interconnected approaches to AI and within open educational resources. And we have some really interesting examples. One is accessibility by design, and that's some work that Liza Long from Idaho has been engaged in and built basically her own AI agent to help with accessibility checks in their work. The second one is we're bringing in Chrissy Narenzi from the University of Leeds, who's going to be talking about what it meant to work with students on this particular resource on learning with AI. And that'll be really interesting, I think, because we're also going to get into that ethical discussion of how do you introduce AI to your students in an ethical way. And then lastly, this is Rebecca Hebert from RRC Polytech, which is based in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And she's going to be talking to us about how you go from creating a policy that many people probably have into actually implementing that policy and what that looks like at their institution. And so they developed a Pressbook, a book on what it is to how to actually practically use Gen AI in education. I'm just going to put the link to this registration in case it's of interest to you. And we'd love to have you there. Oh, sorry, too fast. So we are going to be at OE Global in person. We will be at in Boston for this particular event. We also are going to be sponsoring a satellite event with the organizers with ISKME and also BC Campus. And so that at that satellite event, our very own Thomas, who presented earlier, will also be at that satellite event. And if you're if you're in the area or you're not going to Boston but prefer to come up to Vancouver, love to. I'm sure Thomas would love to meet you and maybe hand out some swag. But I also wanted to share there's not only presentations by some of us at Pressbooks, but you can see there's some great presentations around the topic of Pressbooks or how people have been using Pressbooks across their institutions. And so I'm really excited to see different topics from e-portfolios to AI to creating community from, I think that one is from Australia, which is really exciting. And hopefully you will either be able to attend online or we'll see you in person. The other event we will be at will be Open Ed, which is a virtual conference this year. And so the early bird registration is still available right now, and we definitely would love to see your names on screen. And again, I took some screenshots here of folks who are also presenting that include different topics related to Pressbooks. And we will also be presenting at that event as well. So I think I have another, oh, nope, that's the one. So if we're missing ones here, would love for you to let us know if I didn't capture one, but hopefully we'll see some of you at these different events. There is something else I'd love to show you and walk through. So one of the things that came up when we were having conversations with a variety of different clients is that we know that right now, especially with everything happening in North America and across Europe with regards to cost cutting in post-secondary institutions, oftentimes this can greatly affect your open education budget and also your open education advocacy plans or the work you've been doing. And so our marketing lead, Jen, who is on vacation today, put together this amazing slide deck that really puts together some statistics, some research, and also shares some of sort of what we found in terms of enrollment and retention. And so this is a slide deck for all of you to use however you wish. And I'm going to put the link. Oh, sorry. Let me do this. I'm going to put the link in the chat here so that you can also have access to it. And the hope is that you would create a copy of this deck of these PowerPoint presentations to be able to use the slides in a way that are most useful for you. So I'm just going to walk you through quickly what this looks like. But this is really talking about how to create the business case. And so really talking about, what we know as access of the issue, what it means when we try to convert affordability to an institutional value. And there's a number of different research items here that we've gathered, especially from a lot of the case studies that Jen and others in the marketing and customer experience team have put together. We're also looking at ways that, you could have conversations with people about efficiency and what it means for student success and what it means for enrollment or retention or graduation rates. And some of these, actually, you might see some of these research articles actually came out of last year's Open Ed conference. So I was happy that we could put those in. And then we're really focused on student learning here, and then talking a little bit about some global publishing options. And you can always go into some of the specifics here. But you're welcome to take this deck, create a copy of it. If it's helpful to you as an institution, if you're talking to administration or departments about the impact of open, we hope that that's helpful. If you do have feedback on this particular slide deck, would love to hear it. If there's things that we're missing or things that you would think, oh, we should add this, please do reach out because we're always looking for more support here. The other thing I just wanted to say is thank you so much to those of you who responded to our CSAT survey. So it was sent to 814 network managers, institutional managers from 202 client networks, and we did receive 125 responses from 83 unique networks. And that was great. And so much of the survey was incredibly helpful and definitely indicated to us that you appreciate what Pressbooks does. You feel that support in particular got a lot of shout out. So Thomas and Mitch, definitely the stars of how much help that they provide for everyone. And so a lot of the other things that came out through this is where you'd like to see some improvement or things that we could do to update Pressbooks or areas where you're struggling with it. And so I've had a conversation with our tech team and our UX UI designer, Michelle, who's also on the call today. And for those of you that did say that you're willing to have a follow-up conversation, we are going to come up with a bit of a strategy in terms of how to get some more information about, what did you mean when you said that the PDF export wasn't working to your liking? Or what did it mean when you said that LaTeX wasn't, the images weren't producible or things like that? So thank you again. The CSAT survey really does impact how we can provide service back to you and how we can improve Pressbooks to make sure we're meeting your needs. Okay, so I'll stop talking. And this is always our chance just to hear what's happening in your world. So do you have some things that are of interest? You've got a real powerhouse crew here today. If you have questions specific that you're wanting to make sure that we address, if it's related to errors that you're getting or anything like that, or are there some topics of interest that are coming up for you? Love to hear from all of you. Yeah, Caitlin.
Um, just thought I'd mention maybe a project of interest. On August 31st, Rebus will be launching in collaboration with Doers, will be launching an OER around OER and workforce. So it's a really great kind of modular resource with some strategies on how to go about implementing OER within workforce development. And yeah, I wish I had a better pitch than that,
That's great.
but
No, that's great.
come out on the
Do you have
31st.
a
We'll have
link you could add in for us? Like a registration
yeah,
link?
it's a private link for now, but
Oh, okay.
I'll pop it in and then come the 31st we'll send it out to listservs and stuff. So
Okay, cool. That's
yeah.
exciting. I don't know if are they probably not open textbooks, are they, Bashak? No.
No, I like open textbooks by day, but I very much like
Yeah.
non-textbooks by night. Thank you so much. Like my brain needs to have some kind of a break.
Oh yeah, thank you, Michelle. Do you have the link to the survey specific? That would be great. We do definitely want to hear your feedback. It's been something, as we said before, really excited to launch and get out the door. So, and then Caitlin put that in. That's awesome.
I was just going to quickly mention the survey is accessible when you do the Google Docs importer in the product. So it's just in a banner right on the page.
Oh, perfect. Kenneth says, I'm learning how to incorporate accessibility checks into our OER development. Any suggestions for tools and workflows would be appreciated. Do you happen to like, are you using the accessibility checker currently, Kenneth, the Pressbooks one, or? is this more of like the manual process that you've been involved with? Yeah, actually, Mitch, that would be great. Well, we're waiting. I'll wait for. Oh,
Sure. And I'm also,
wow. Yeah, Kenneth said he's been using the manual process, so haven't learned to use the built-one in yet. Um, let's do a demo of where you can find that Google Docs survey. I'll stop sharing, pass it over to you.
sure. And also, if anyone has other questions about Google Doc Importer, happy to answer that too, and with the help of my colleague. So if you are in your books dashboard and go to the import page again, you won't see it just like that. You have to select import type and Google Docs, and then the banner will appear. And then you can click on the banner and it will take you to the survey where you can answer a few questions. So that's where you can access the Google Docs survey.
Awesome, thank you. Kenneth, you actually might be really interested in attending the that AI tool or the AI webinar I was talking about that's happening towards the end of September, because I do know that and Jamie as well, is that Liza is going to walk through what they do in particular for that. So it might be really interesting from the accessibility angle that you're talking about to attend and take a little. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie.
Hi, everybody. I don't really have a project or anything exciting to share. I actually just found out that we're going to be losing some of our supplemental funding for OER, so it's not necessarily a celebratory day for me. But I do have a new faculty member interested in creating a press book, which is a win for us. And she is concerned on, and I know you guys aren't H5P experts, but you could perhaps advise me on who might I ask. Some of on the chart of accessibility for H5P, some of the things say partially compliant, and I guess I just would like to know where to go for more information on, what about it isn't compliant and what is compliant, so that she can make a good decision.
Who would like to respond to that from the team? Anybody on H5P accessibility?
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at the BC campus. Great. I was just hoping somebody could give me a shortcut, because like Kenneth said, I do like 20,000 things in the library besides administer this. So it's tricky. Thanks.
Jamie, I would suggest you can also write an email to premium support, and then we can follow up with more detail. It might be easier. And also with if you have specific concrete questions about that, we're happy to help and also share a little bit more of what we know about it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks. I'll send an email.
Yeah, sometimes that's a little more helpful just to get that specifics, and then gets right to it. Yeah. But yeah, check out those the accessibility toolkit written by yours truly. So happy for you to check that out and see some checklists. There's also, as Thomas pointed out, there is also a guide as well within the Pressbooks guides. Yeah, so Christopher, thanks for mentioning that. So one of the things to note is for those who are self-hosted users using talking about accessibility, we've been working with the lead developer of Editorially, which is where that plugin came from that we put together. And so we're definitely, if you are encountering any difficulties either with that or you have questions about accessibility, please do put it in the community forum, because it does help us have future conversations with him. The AI webinar is on, that is a good question. I think it's on September 22nd. I put the link up above, but I'll see if I can find it again for you. Here it is. Oh, and John, I already got that. Michelle, Jamie Michelle also put in some help link there for H5P support as well. So oh yeah. Amelia, I don't know if could you share that now or great.
I'm happy to share it. I will need to clean up a copy to share more widely. Would you like me to share my screen now? I think I
Yeah, can you do
rather
that?
quickly. I will preface this by saying it's nothing fancy, but it is a checklist that we share with our folks. And I'm on one screen today, so I'm kind of struggling here. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Does that work? Okay. All right, make it a little bigger. So we just have some check boxes for them to go through. We do ask them to use the accessibility tool, but then we kind of break it down for them a little farther and ask them to review their broken link report that we provide. But now that that's incorporated into this tool, we'll probably update this language. Ask them to review their raw links, things like that. And then we have this overview checklist of specific things and language we ask them to go in and put within the book information. And we provide due dates based on the project that we're working on.
Amelia,
And my colleague Emily created videos that are like less than a minute long of like going through each of these items and how to do that. So then we have them do the image review, and each of our courses have a Moodle shell attached, so then we have them go through that Moodle shell as well. But I'm happy to provide this if it would be helpful, or I'm sure that you're welcome to recreate it for your use case as well.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying so helpful. This list is great. Amelia, go Lewis.
Go Lewis, go Emily. She's the one that put all this together for us.
There is a question, how were you previously generating the broken link report?
So my colleague Elizabeth handles all of that. And then she provides it to me. So I cannot answer that, but if you would like to send me an email, I'll drop my my email in the chat. If you'd like to send me an email with that question, I'm happy to get more information and pass it along.
Awesome. And then Christopher said, can you tell us what version of Moodle you're using? Have you migrated to 5.x yet?
I do not know.
Okay.
I apologize. I do not have that information.
I'm just guessing, Amelia, but I'm imagining that throughout the state, there's a couple of different versions in use.
In Louisiana?
Yeah. Of Moodle.
Oh, of Moodle. Oh, I'm sorry, of Moodle. Yes, we are on the latest version of Moodle, 5.1, maybe?
Okay, cool.
5.0, 5.1. Mm-hmm.
Great.
So you don't mind putting your email in the chat? Because that would be great for folks. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lauren, hey.
Hi. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm outside. I had a question. I had a meeting last week with some instructional designers or folks on our IT team at our university about hypothesis And it brought up some questions for me. I'm curious from the team and just others here about. So at our university, University of Washington, we have a hypothesis LTI integration with our Canvas LMS. And Hypothesis had reached out to our learning design team and tech support team about doing some workshops on campus. And one of their offerings was about OER and Hypothesis. And so they reached out to me and we kind of talked, and I said, here's how Hypothesis works in Pressbooks and what I've seen from, what I talk to users about, faculty when talking to them about Hypothesis. And I haven't seen a lot of, I would say H5P is much more of an exciting tool for faculty when I talk to them. And I don't know of a lot of people that are using Hypothesis. And I was surprised to learn that it's very widely used at our university within the LMS with the Hypothesis Canvas integration. And so I was curious, we were kind of talking about, when someone embeds their book in their Pressbooks book into Canvas and use Hypothesis there, like how that kind of functions with Hypothesis with the LMS. And I'm still not fully clear on that, but I think it just made me curious about how others are using Hypothesis and also whether, I know there's a way for us as network admins to sort of filter our book user list by people who are using H5P and whether there's a way to do that for Hypothesis, because I think it would be helpful for me to have more information on who's using that within their books. And this is probably something I brought up before and maybe got answered and I'm just forgetting, but yeah, just kind of wanted to raise that. And something exciting was they were saying, yeah, Hypothesis is like the most utilized tool in Canvas at our university, or one of the highest, and that faculty really like it because they feel like it's sort of an AI resistant tool, or it, provides opportunities for creating assignments that are sort of dissuade students from using AI. So anyway, that's a lot of talking, but curious if others have thoughts or experience around Hypothesis. Thanks.
I can just chime in about Hypothesis at UL.
Great.
Yeah, it's also a pretty popular tool. I think we have the Canvas integration as well. And we have actually had some interesting conversation with faculty who use both Pressbooks and Hypothesis, but they want to use the Canvas LMS version of Hypothesis because that way students don't need to create separate accounts, separate Hypothesis accounts. But then they can't actually use the Pressbooks LMS integration. So because they're just, I don't think, set up to work together in that way. And so we've had some sort of back and forth with faculty who really want to use the Hypothesis tool, but then are maybe also interested in the H5P Pressbooks integration, and trying to figure out the best way where students aren't needing to create separate accounts. So yeah, we don't really have answers, but it's also something that we're thinking about and working on at UL.
I would just want to let anyone else who knows anything contribute to the conversation. I used to work at Hypothesis as well, so I know a little bit, but with a little knowledge is always dangerous. So what I would say is that the way that the Canvas integration with Hypothesis works is that basically they're creating a private group through their LTI integration that joins those students. Students can create their own Hypothesis account however they choose. And I honestly wouldn't go back to school. Not that anyone would invite me back to school, but wouldn't go back to school without using Hypothesis to keep track of annotations as I study. But that would be a private thing that I could do on my own if I chose to. The reason that the Canvas LTI integration works so well for Hypothesis is that it is then FERPA compliant. You aren't requiring students to sign in and give up their privacy. So that's why Hypothesis created that, and so that you can set up assignments through Canvas that all students would have access to in a private environment.
Hmm.
Hope that helps.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No,
That
go
does
for
really
it.
help. And I appreciate what you were saying, Aaliyah, too. I think, yeah, I was also curious about the sort of single sign-on, like if the students kind of having to go through two account systems, or if it's possible to have, and maybe this is a feature that I just haven't turned on as a network admin, for if authors enable Hypothesis on their UW Pressbooks book, can they have people sign in with their university net ID as they do within, or I guess as Canvas does for them, so that it's FERPA compliant. But also, that's maybe getting too much in the weeds, so happy to talk about it on the forum or over email.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been at Hypothesis, and that wasn't available as an option. Just their LTI integration. But I'm not sure you'd want to check with Hypothesis if they've updated that.
Jamie?
I was just going to chime in, Lauren, and say that I had one professor use it with students extensively in her philosophy class, and it went well, but it wasn't connecting to the grade book, and so she was having to, review those herself, and it just got a little bit too clunky. But I will say, she and I have used it extensively. She brings a lot of content into Pressbooks from Gutenberg, because she's doing, a lot of the ancient texts, and so we will bring that in, and we use Hypothesis to communicate as editors. And so she'll like make an annotation, and she'll say, please insert activity whatever here, and so we have our own little private group in all of her books, and it emails me and lets me know when she needs me to add something to her book, and it just we found that a really easy way to collaborate on the book without both of us being in there at the same time, because then we know that causes the editor overwrite and whatever. So I hope that made sense.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, that's a great idea for collaboration. And it looks like Lauren is also saying most of the time when I'm suggesting Hypothesis to faculty, it is in those cases when they want to collaborate with faculty at other institutions. And you suggest they make their books public, but password protect chapters. Yeah, and enable. Yeah, that's great. Also just wanted to point out that Alyssa above also said that at the University of Missouri system, most people are using Hypothesis and Canvas to have it with PDFs uploaded or articles on websites. I don't think I've seen anyone try to use it with Pressbooks, but it doesn't mean it hasn't been done. So, and then I did write down, Thomas, your comment, just so we have that on our record, is a way of filtering the network book list by books that use Hypothesis, because that might be interesting. So I wrote that one down too for us. How about anybody else? Is there anything else that's come up that you're thinking about after all of these great conversations? Okay. Well, in the event that I'm giving you back, 10 minutes of your life to do whatever your hopes and dreams are from here on out, I would say thank you so much to all of you for attending and being a part of today's meeting, and for coming with your questions and ideas and shares. It's really what this community is about. So very happy to be able to be a part of it. And if you are going to be at any at that at OE Global in person and at either the Vancouver satellite event or at the Boston in-person event, please do let us know. We'd love to meet up and say hi in person. If you do have feedback on the Google Docs survey, please send it our way. And as always, thank you. We will share out the recording after we get it transcribed and get the captions on and everything, and that will be up on our YouTube page. Thank you, everyone.